So the story kicks off with this martial arts fanatic who realized he'd die before he got up. Our boy, looking like he just main evented a deathmatch, decided to chase a wild legend. The legend is about a dragon guarding a golden fruit that grants immortality. Classic video game logic. He finds the spot and gets that the shit is real look on his face. After who knows what kind of hell, my man finally makes it to the legendary tree. And there it is, the fruit of immortality, looking like some kind of divine, scaly gourd. He's completely gassed, barely holding himself together after the fight of his life. Bro is literally sitting on the corpse of the dragon he just folded. What a flex. He's stumbling towards his prize, running on nothing but pure, unfiltered obsession. My guy grabs the fruit, already hyped for his infinite training arc. This dude has no chill. MC doesn't even hesitate, just starts chomping down on the god fruit like an apple. And we get a name drop. Gilas Dragon, the world's strongest. My man really did become a legend. Then we hit a time skip of several decades to some peaceful, bougie-ass castle. What happened to the grind? A whole family is gathered around some old dude on his deathbed. Wait a damn minute. We meet the first son, Gilliam, looking super bummed out about his dad kicking the bucket. The old man is Gilas. The immortality fruit was a total scam. He's telling his son to stop looking so pathetic. Gilas is trying to drop some final wisdom on his kid and grandkid. Bro went from warrior to grandpa real quick. He's flashing back, realizing the whole legend was just premium grade bullshit. You absolutely hate to see it. But my guy found a different W. Thinking about how he was blessed with a family. That's some unexpected character growth. Old man Gilas is smiling, at peace with his life. He may not be immortal, but he's going out a legend. Gilas puts on a brave face for the family, saying he has no regrets. The maids are crying. But we know this man is capping. And there it is, his inner monologue goes feral, calling himself out on his own BS. This dude is not at peace. He's holding his son's hand, but all he can think about is needing more time. Family is cool, but the grind is eternal. My man is absolutely seething about not having enough time to get even more up. This dude's priorities are wild. Even while croaking, he's reaching for that martial arts peak he never hit. The obsession is actually insane. And with that, the legend Gilas Dragon finally bites the dust. R.I.P. to the world's strongest grandpa. Psych. My guy wakes up as a baby. We're in the isekai zone now, boys. Gilas is just vibing, thinking he took a nap and woke up feeling light. Bro has zero clue what just happened. He finally notices his tiny baby hands and is justifiably confused. Welcome to the crib, old man. The existential crisis hits as he realizes he's been reborn. The ultimate training arc just got a hard reset. Gilas is still processing the whole reborn as a baby thing. And his face is screaming, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He's trying to rationalize this, thinking someone must be powerful enough to pull this on him. Bro's ego is still at max level. My guy is scanning the room, trying to figure out who could have possibly put him in this situation. The paranoia is setting in early. The gears in his baby brain are turning as he starts to connect the dots. Oh, that look. He's onto something. He flashes back to the one thing that could explain this bullshit, that legendary scaly gourd he ate. And there's the big brain moment. The fruit wasn't immortality. It was reincarnation. The universe really said run it back. Gilas is absolutely losing his mind with joy. My man just got a new game plus and is ready for his infinite training arc 2.0. He finally notices he's in a room full of other babies. Wait, this wasn't a solo mission. What is this? A daycare for the reincarnated. He realizes he's been reborn into his own family, the Dragons, but is confused about all the other cribs. This just got weird. A whole squad of maids rolls in with the milk cart. Welcome to the Dragon family nursery, I guess. Gilas is just accepting his new baby life, thinking it's time for some milk. A simple man with simple needs. They just yeeted a whole ass goblin into the room. That is definitely not a cow. The maids are holding the goblin down while Gilas is having a what the fuck moment in his crib. Holy shit, they're literally juicing the goblin into a baby bottle. This family's meal prep is on another level. The goblin pops like a blood-filled water balloon, drenching one of the babies. That kid is traumatized for life. Gilas is still processing the gore splosion while the maids casually discuss diluting the goblin juice. A maid just scoops up Gilas, who's still trying to figure out what fresh hell he's been reborn into. He's staring down the bottle of red stuff, internally screaming about what they're about to feed him. My man's internal power scanner is going berserk. He knows this ain't just goblin blood. It's high-octane nightmare fuel. And the maid just feeds him the super dangerous monster juice with a cute background. Welcome to the Dragon grind, kid. Gilas is fighting his baby instincts. realizing his warrior brain is trapped in a body that can't resist a bottle. My man's internal encyclopedia just dropped a lore bomb. It's diluted ancient dragon blood. This family's baby formula is insane. He's panicking, trying to figure out how to spit out the rocket fuel, while the maids just continue their rounds. Too late. He's already swallowed some and is trying to cope, hoping a little sip of god-tier blood won't make him explode. The other babies are smart enough to spit it out, but Gilfas is about to go critical. This family's childcare is just natural selection. And just like that, the panic flips to pure opportunity. This dude sees a near-death experience and thinks level up. He's already picturing the gains, thinking this dragon blood is the key to surpassing his old limits. The grind never stops. My guy goes from fighting for his life to chugging the death juice like it's a protein shake. What an absolute psycho. He's literally using his baby hands to hold the bottle steady. This kid chose violence before he could even crawl. The dragon energy is going nuclear inside him as he fully commits to the world's most dangerous feeding time. My guy is bleeding from every hole in his face, but is still trying to talk shit to a bottle of blood. He's literally screaming his own name in his head like a shonen protagonist, about to unlock a new form. The baby is having a full-on power-up sequence while getting burped. This is the most intense feeding ever. The maid is finally realizing the baby she's holding is not running on standard baby software. Gilfas is now just mainlining the dragon power, already planning how to use it to get even more ridiculously up. And now he's getting the dragon's memories downloaded straight into his brain. It's like Ancestridna, but with more explosions. The visions are getting more intense, showing a full-blown dragon deathmatch. This ain't your grandma's baby formula. My man is surprised at how easily he's absorbing the power. Bro's ego is so big it's helping him digest cosmic energy. He's back in the crib, looking like he just survived a car crash but glowing with power. Mission accomplished. Gilfas is shocked the other babies survived, then immediately starts complaining about his weak baby body. No chill. My guy just chugged a bottle of pure chaos and is now hitting that post-meal nap. The food coma is real. We get a 7-year time skip, and someone's already counting reps in the high hundreds. The grind waits for no one. It's our boy, doing one-handed handstands with a damn boulder on his feet. This kid's workout is just disrespectful. He casually kicks the boulder into the air like it's a soccer ball, show off, and then he just punches the rock into oblivion. The 7-year-old is already a menace to society. Name drop, Gilfas is now Zekel Dragon, and he's already admiring his gains. That dragon blood was basically steroids. And here we go with the lore dump about source power, which is basically the universe's pre-workout. Turns out that nightmare fuel in the baby bottle was just pure, uncut source power. The Eldragon family's secret formula. So all the babies who didn't die from the goblin juice got a permanent stat boost. What a wild childcare program. But Zeke is built different, stacking the new dragon power with the one from his past life. My man is double dipping on op abilities. Zeke is glowing post-workout but is already complaining about only being 1 star. This dude is allergic to being satisfied. He's still whining about his progress, then drops a lore bomb about how stars are just compressed power. We get the full power system breakdown. Your body is a universe, and stars are your power level. More stars, more problems for your enemies. And here's the flex, his old self. Gilfas hit 10 stars, a level no one else ever reached. Bro is just hyping his own prequel. Zeke reveals he's the illegitimate kid of the family head, so he's got the op potential and the angsty backstory. We get the tragic origin story. Mom's dead, and his dad is a certified deadbeat who never even showed up. My guy is just now processing that he was reborn 1,000 years in the future. The universe really put him on the back burner. He's thinking back to the goblin juice feeding time, calling it a prime example of this new world's hardcore vibe. Turns out the baby death juice ritual has a name, the Dragon Trial. Sounds way cooler than child endangerment. Only the babies who survive the trial get to become all dragon warriors. So it's a whole academy of super-powered orphans. Zeke's finally realizing his special training is just being raised by maids, which is definitely not the standard package. He asks what the deal is, and the maid hits him with the ultimate NPC line. I'm afraid I cannot answer that. My guy is getting pissed, pointing out he's been ghosted by every instructor for 7 years straight. He tries to play it cool, saying he's good with self-training anyway. That ego is still working overtime. Zeke tries to get some intel on his family, but the maid is a literal broken record of no comment. And there's the Gilfas rage we know and love. The 7-year-old is about to go full Super Saiyan. The maid is visibly shook by his killer intent but sticks to the script. You gotta respect the professionalism. He asks if they're intentionally screwing him over, and she basically confirms she's just his glorified babysitter. Zeke's internal scouter goes off, realizing this mate is a 3-star fighter. Even the help in this family is up. He gives up and heads to the forest, knowing this whole silent treatment situation is shady as hell. Zeke walks off, realizing his 3-star babysitter finally decided to give him some personal space. My guy heads into the forest, probably looking for the next ridiculous thing to add to his workout routine. He just rips some random-ass plant out of the ground with his bare hands, foraging for gains. And he's just gonna eat it raw. This kid's diet plan is just what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Zeke confirms he's eating poison for training. This dude's commitment to the grind is actually a mental illness. He's trying to play it cool, but you know he's already calculating the XP from that poison salad. But my man can feel he's got a stalker. The paranoia from his past life is still kicking. Zeke is tired of the games, basically yelling "come out and fight me" to the empty forest. He's hiding in the bushes, looking pissed. My boy is about to jump whoever's been spying on him. And we see some weird purple magic shit in the trees. Looks like his stalker isn't just some random creep. Zeke's still in the bushes, confirming his paranoia was on point. Someone's definitely out there. And the stalker is a giant, pissed off boar glowing with that same weird purple magic. My guy's already analyzing it, realizing this black mist is a new problem that wasn't around in his day. The boar is just sniffing around, completely unaware it's about to become a 7-year-old's punching bag. And there's the charge. The boar is coming in hot, ready to turn Zeke into a red stain. Zeke is just standing there, looking completely unbothered by the freight train of bacon heading his way. Oh, that's the psycho grin we know and love. He's not scared, he's hyped for a sparring session. He sidesteps the charge like it's nothing. This boar just got played by a first grader. My guy powers up his fist, getting ready to deliver a knuckle sandwich with extra sauce. Boom, he lands a direct hit, and the boar just got a taste of that 1-star Eldragon power. Zeke's admiring his handiwork after that one punch. Bro's already calculating his DPS at level 7. My guy throws the whole ass boar over his shoulder and is already planning to dip. This kid's got no loyalty to the family that ghosted him. He's already got a destination in mind. The sea. Bro wants a beach episode after all this training. And the real stalker shows up. Some cloaked dude who shocked a kid just did all that. Yeah. No shit. Sherlock. The cloak guy is dropping Zeke's whole tragic backstory, confirming the family is keeping him on a very short leash. This shady observer thinks the whole situation is interesting. My guy. You're watching a traumatized super child, not a TV show. And just like that, the stalker pulls a ninja vanish. At least Zeke's paranoia is always justified. Looks like Zeke actually bounced and found himself a nice little cabin in the woods. The runaway arc starts now. He immediately senses a whole squad of high-level fighters nearby. Can this kid ever catch a break? Zeke's already in stealth mode, listening in on the new neighbors. My man's social skills are just eavesdrop first, ask questions never. Zeke steps out of the shadows, deciding to confront the squad since they don't seem ready to shank him on sight. My guy immediately clocks the Eldragon family crest on their uniforms. The family that ghosted him finally decided to show up. The old dude leading the squad steps forward with some serious "I'm your new principal" energy. The whole crew salutes and says they're here to escort Master Zeke to an examination. Oh. So now he's a master? Zeke is understandably confused. An exam on what? How to punch wildlife and survive on a diet of poison plants. My man is having a full-on internal meltdown. The sheer audacity of these people is breaking his brain. He's screaming in his head that they never taught him a damn thing. Yeah, no shit. His only teachers were a maid and his own psycho instincts. And just like that, he's been forced into a fancy uniform, looking completely done with this whole situation. Zeke gets escorted back to the main family's ridiculously huge castle. So much for that runaway plan. Lasted all of 5 minutes. They wouldn't even let him on the grounds in his old clothes. This family is all about appearances, even for the kid they abandoned. We get a close-up of the Eldragon family crest, looking all official and bougie. This is the logo of the clowns who ghosted him. Lore drop. The family has a whole ass academy called the Dragon's Nest. And today's the entrance exam for all the 7-year-olds. Zeke's just smiling through the pain, thinking about how they're testing him on shit he was never taught. This whole thing is a setup. They even put him in some fresh new loafers for the occasion. At least he'll fail the exam in style. My guy is having a full-blown existential crisis, squatting on the ground because this mandatory exam just ruined his whole week. He's pissed they caught him right as he was about to dip. His little runaway suitcase was already packed and everything. Zeke's now in a courtyard full of other kids, looking like the one weird cousin at the family reunion. Some blue-haired kid named Rangis pops up, asking Zeke if he's okay. This dude is either super nice or the first rival. Zeke is completely baffled by the friendly approach, while Rangis just keeps smiling like a damn anime protagonist. And there's the classic Gilfa's paranoia. My man is already giving this kid the "I don't trust you" side-eye. Zeke's internal scouter is going off, realizing this friendly kid Rangis has some hidden depth. My man can't turn off the paranoia. Rangis snaps Zeke out of his 1,000-yard stare, and Zeke has to pretend he's a normal kid who just spaced out. Zeke introduces himself and plays dumb about the exam, trying to squeeze some intel out of his new potential friend rival. Rangis is completely baffled, saying the test is the same every year. Bro, Zeke's been living in a forest, not a library. Rangis is having a full-blown panic attack on Zeke's behalf, realizing my guy showed up with zero prep. And right on cue, some Rana shows up to start beef, calling Rangis a weakling. The schoolyard bully has entered the chat. Rangis looks like he's seen a ghost, while Zeke is just wondering who this new NPC is. The bully, Redden, has that classic "my dad owns this place" smirk while telling Rangis to go home before he gets hurt. Redden is absolutely losing his mind that Rangis is even attempting the exam. The gatekeeping is real with this one. And there's the classism, with Redden calling Rangis' dad a pseudo-dragon. This dude is just a hater. Zeke just stares at the bully's clenched fist, completely unimpressed. My man has fought dragons. This kid is just an appetizer. And we get a full-blown lore dump on the Eldragon family's messed up hierarchy, starting with the novice whelps. Next up are the regular soldier child dragons. This family is literally just a child soldier factory with a fancy name. Then you have the captain level adult dragons, who actually look like they can do more than just talk shit in a courtyard. At the top of the food chain are the executive level elders, the old guard running this whole military grade daycare. And at the absolute bottom are the pseudo dragons, the family washouts who get treated like dirt. Rangis reveals his dad is a pseudo-dragon, which explains why this bully is on his ass 24/7. The plot thickens. My boy Rangis gets all fired up, saying he's gonna prove all the haters wrong. He's got that pure shonen protagonist spirit. Zeke hits him with a simple why, and Rangis drops some classic never give up wisdom. These two are a perfect odd couple. Redden and his squad of faceless yes men step up, looking ready to beat the optimism out of Rangis. Zeke steps right up to the bully, asking what his problem is with Rangis. My man can't resist starting shit. Redden just points at blue hair and says it's because he's weak. Bro has the creativity of a brick. Rangis is completely stunned that someone is actually sticking up for him. Poor kid's never had a real one. Zeke's inner Gilfas is already calculating power levels, thinking Rangis is way stronger than these clowns. Rangis is looking at Zeke like he's some kind of mythical creature. Yeah, you have no idea, kid. Redden is absolutely losing it, screaming about how Zeke just called them weaker than a weakling. The bully's about to throw hands, but his fancy loafers are the only thing making him move so far. And just before the first punch, some official-looking dude shows up to shut it all down. Talk about a buzzkill. The examiner announces the test is starting, telling all the kids to line up and get their numbers. Redden gives Zeke the classic "I'll remember this" look before walking off. Yeah, get in line, buddy. Zeke hits Rangis with the kids these days line. And Rangis is just trying to do the math on that one. My guy justifies his shit stirring by saying anyone would be mad to hear the truth. The 1,000-year-old grandpa logic is strong. Zeke gives that classic "I'm about to ruin this man's whole career" side eye. The Gilfas is showing. He's trying to apply logic to a schoolyard beef, pointing out the exam is mandatory. Bro, they're 7. They don't do logic. Zeke finds out you can actually quit, and Rangis is just stunned by how little this kid knows. My man's been living under a rock, literally. Rangis suggests Zeke should dip too, and my guy looks like his whole worldview just got shattered. Zeke immediately flips back to full-on ego mode, saying he's to opt to even be allowed to quit. The confidence is just unhinged. Rangis is just staring, completely baffled by this kid who's both clueless and arrogant as hell. The examiner lays out the test: punch a rock until it gets a scratch. This family's entrance exam is just a geology-based fistfight. And of course, there's a catch: only 3 tries. This dude is giving off some serious evil gym teacher vibes. Zeke calls the test easy before it even starts, and Rangis is having a panic attack just hearing him say it. My guy's flashing back to the dragon blood chugging, thinking this rock-punching test is a total joke by comparison. The examiner screams begin, and you just know some 7-year-old is about to break his hand. The first kid up to the plate looks like he's about to piss his pants. He is not ready for this. My man wins up and smacks the rock with a training sword, putting his whole soul into the swing. Rangis can't even watch, covering his ears like he's about to see a car crash in slow motion. and the rock just completely no-sells the hit, turning the kid's hands into a bloody mess. The kid is screaming bloody murder, while Zeke just watches, completely unfazed by the carnage. The examiner just marks the fail on his clipboard while the kid is literally passed out from the pain, and the instructors just tell someone to clean it up. Damn. This family treats its washouts like actual trash. The examiner just calls the next number while the kid is literally unconscious on the floor. This family's HR department is non-existent. Zeke looks like he's waiting in line at the DMV while Rangis is having a full-on meltdown about this test. My guy isn't scared, he's just gathering intel, asking what the hell this magic rock is. So the rock is a regeneration stone that heals itself and reflects damage. They're making kids fight a Dark Souls enemy. Rangis drops the secret. You gotta use source power, not just brute force. It's a skill check, not a strength test. Zeke's connecting the dots, realizing this new era is all about key control, not just throwing hands. And you can see the gears turning. My man has already solved this puzzle in his head. He's scoping out the competition, noticing Retin and his goon squad are still in the running. Another one bites the dust. Kid number 51 is out, leaving a trail of tears and probably broken fingers. And number 102 gets absolutely wrecked. This entrance exam has a higher body count than a Mortal Kombat tournament. The examiner is just marking off another failure, while some poor kid gets dragged away. This test has a higher dropout rate than organic chemistry. And it's Zeke's turn. Rangis is having a full-blown panic attack, asking if it's too late to run for the hills. Zeke just strolls out there like he's going to the fridge for a snack, telling Rangis to chill. Rangis is left behind, looking like he just watched his friend volunteer as tribute. The anxiety is real. My guy walks onto the field, and the whole crowd is dead silent. The examiner is ready to write another F. Oh, that's the look. The examiner's internal scouter just went off. He knows this kid ain't normal. Zeke powers up with that classic Gilfa Zora, ready to show these new gen kids how it's done. The examiner asks if he's gonna grab a weapon, and Zeke just says his fist is enough. The absolute disrespect. The whole crowd is calling him an idiot, saying his hand is gonna shatter. Even Retin's goons are talking shit. Rangis is already regretting his life choices, thinking he should have just tackled Zeke to stop him. Rangis is over their sweating buckets, more stressed out for Zeke than Zeke is for himself. The examiner just gives the go-ahead, looking like he's already got the F written down on his clipboard. Zeke's busy geeking out over the rock's composition, using his 1,000-year-old brain for some geology homework. And just like that, he's done thinking. My man powers up his fist, deciding violence is the only answer that matters. Rangis is having a full-blown meltdown, about to jump in and save Zeke from his own hype. Oh, there's that psycho grin. Zeke is absolutely thrilled to finally show these kids what a real power level looks like. He's pulling out the named moves. This ain't a test anymore. It's a damn showcase for the cheap seats. My guy unleashes the burst strike, putting way too much sauce on a simple entrance exam punch. And the rock just gets absolutely deleted from existence. That's what you call overkill. Rangis is just standing there, completely mind-blown by the flex he just witnessed. Welcome to the Zeke show, kid. The examiner is just staring, probably trying to figure out how to grade deleted the entire test from existence. Zeke's got that smug "yeah, I did that" look on his face. My man lives for these moments. He's already complaining about his busted hand, saying he needs more training. Bro, you just vaporized a magic rock. The whole crowd of kids is just frozen, trying to process the fact that the quiet kid is a walking nuke. And there's Retin, the bully, looking like he just saw a ghost. Yeah, you picked the wrong one, buddy. A new blonde girl in the crowd is actually smirking. She's the only one here who gets it. Rangis's brain has officially left the building. My boy is completely short-circuiting right now. Zeke's just standing there, soaking in the stunned silence like it's a standing ovation. What a showman. The examiner is doing the math, realizing that kind of power is for a 4-star fighter, not a 7-year-old. He's connecting the dots to Zeke's bloodline, but also recognizes the technique. Uh-oh. Someone remembers Gilfas. Zeke, with his hand looking like a melted action figure, asks the examiner how he did. The audacity on this kid is legendary. The examiner confirms he passed, and Zeke hits him with that smug "yeah, I know" face. What an absolute menace. The examiner hands him a little potion, and Zeke is genuinely confused. My guy is 1,000 years behind on his fantasy world tech. The examiner gives him a shady-ass smile and basically tells him to get lost. He wants this problem child out of his sight ASAP. Zeke is stomping off, complaining about how rude everyone is now. Old man Gilfas is really showing his age. Rangis runs up, completely losing his mind over Zeke's flex, while Zeke just plays it cool like it was nothing. Zeke asks his new fanboy what the hell this potion is, and Rangis is shocked. Bro's been living in a cave for 7 years. Rangis explains it's just a basic healing potion. My guy Zeke is still giving it the suspicious side eye, trusting no one. Zeke's internal encyclopedia boots up, realizing this ain't no regular health pot. He's calling it spirit medicine. And there's the lore drop. It's made from some super rare wood. The examiner didn't just give him a band-aid, he gave him the premium stuff. So this spirit medicine is made from divine beast cores and secret herbs. Yeah, the examiner definitely gave him the good shit. Zeke just chugs the legendary tier potion, realizing this stuff is so rare it's practically a myth from his time. And just like that, his hand is back to factory settings. My guy is looking at his arm like he just witnessed a miracle. Zeke is losing his mind over the potion, while Rangis is just like, yeah, our family's potions are pretty good. The disconnect is hilarious. Rangis is completely baffled by Zeke's shock, asking if it's really that surprising. Bro, this kid is 1,000 years behind on the patch notes. Zeke notes it's just a heal bot, no stat boost. But Rangis is still simping over Zeke's rock-punching skills. My guy is having a full-on boomer moment, marveling at the wisdom of humanity and a simple healing potion. Rangis is gassing him up, and Zeke just casually drops that he's aiming to be the strongest. The examiner is definitely still watching this kid. Other kids are passing, but they look like they just got out of a bar fight. They're barely making it through. Zeke is already bored watching the rest of the test, while Rangis is still having a low-key anxiety attack. And now it's Rangis' turn, and my boy is sweating bullets. Zeke's just watching like, what's the big deal? Zeke tries to give him a pep talk, and Rangis basically screams at him to stop raising the damn expectations. My guy Zeke is genuinely confused by this concept of pressure. Bro's ego has its own gravitational pull. Rangis steps onto the field, sword in hand, trying to channel some of that shonen protagonist energy. He puts his whole soul into the swing, lighting up with that blue source power. Let's go, kid. And the rock just sends him flying. The examiner just casually notes the fail while Rangis eats dirt. But my boy gets right back up for round 2, looking way more focused. He's got that dog in him. And he gets absolutely bodied again. This rock's K-D ratio is getting ridiculous. Rangis is on the ground, looking at his scraped up hand like his dreams just died. The despair is real. And of course, Retin and his goon squad are back to talk shit, calling him a failure just like his dad. Retin the bully is back with that punchable smirk, asking Zeke to repeat himself now that his boy is eating dirt. He's screaming about how Zeke called Rangis stronger than them. My guy's ego is so fragile. The examiner, looking bored as hell, asks Rangis if he's gonna take his last shot or just stay on the ground. Rangis is completely broken, just kneeling there stuttering. My boy's shonen protagonist spirit just left the building. Zeke just walks right up to him, asking what the hell he's doing moping on the floor. My guy drops the bomb, asking why he's using a sword when he should be using a spear. The master class is in session. Rangis is completely lost, and Zeke just roasts him for picking the wrong tool for the job with zero strategy. Zeke lays down the law, telling him he's too weak to ever scratch that rock with a sword. Damn. No sugarcoating. Retin and his goons are absolutely howling, calling Zeke an idiot because Rangis' dad is a famous swordsman. The yes men chime in, saying a weapon change won't fix the fact that Rangis is a total washout. Zeke, being a total smartass, asks the examiner if changing weapons is even legal. My man is already lawyering up for his boy. He turns to Rangis with a big cheesy grin, basically saying, see, no excuses. Rangis is still on the floor looking like his dog just died. Zeke goes full-on motivational psycho, asking Rangis if he's really gonna quit now. This kid's coaching style is just bullying with extra steps. Rangis is flashing back to his whole life, all the training and pressure from his dad. The kid is having a whole crisis. But my boy is finding that inner strength, pushing himself up off the ground. He's not going out like a punk. Rangis finally commits, saying he'll try the spear. Zeke's unsolicited advice might actually work for once. And we get the full backstory. Rangis' dad was a pseudo-dragon, who failed to get into the dragon's nest himself. But his dad was a real one, always encouraging his kid even though he was a family washout. Damn. Right in the feels. The whole family clown on his dad, but he never got bitter and just focused on raising his son. This explains the sword loyalty. Rangis grabs a spear, ready for his last shot. He's about to fight for his father's honor. The shonen power-up is imminent. Rangis is having a full-on crisis, realizing he has to trust the psycho kid he just met over his entire life's training. Zeke just points at him, basically saying get your ass in gear, we don't have all day. And Zeke's master class advice is literally poke it with the pointy end. My man is a tactical genius. Zeke's just standing there with that smug I know everything look, while Rangis is trying to process this galaxy brain strategy. Rangis is overthinking it, but Zeke's simple just fucking do it logic is starting to break through the anxiety. And there it is, the power of friendship or aggressive peer pressure kicks in. Rangis is fully committed to the bit. My boy Rangis is channeling that main character energy, saying he'll believe in the him that Zeke believes in. Classic. Holy shit, Zeke was right. Rangis is feeling the power up, realizing the spirit is his true calling. And he goes for it, putting all his shonen spirit into one big poke. That rock is definitely feeling that one. And of course, Retin and his squad of haters are already laughing, completely missing the fact that something just changed. Rangis has a full-on anime awakening, realizing the spear feels like an extension of his own damn arm. And he puts a hole clean through the magic rock. My boy didn't just pass, he aced the damn thing. Retin and his squad of haters are absolutely bugging out. Yeah, keep that same energy now, clowns. Even the examiner is impressed, noting he didn't just scratch it, he straight up impaled it. Zeke's already playing the proud coach while Rangis is still trying to figure out what the hell just happened. The examiner is marking down the pass, probably adding a few extra stars for that performance. Rangis is just standing there in disbelief as the examiner officially calls his number. Welcome to the club, kid. Zeke's hyping up his new bestie, who's now crying tears of joy. My man just changed this kid's whole life. Rangis goes from 0 to 100, screaming in celebration while Zeke just plays it cool like I told you so. The haters are already in full cope mode, calling it a fluke. Yeah, a fluke that just made you all look like idiots. The examiner screams that the test is over, looking way too happy to be done with this batch of child soldiers. And just like that, they're herded into an entrance ceremony. This family's schedule is packed with trauma and paperwork. Zeke is asking what they're supposed to do now, and Rangis has to explain how a basic ceremony works. My man's social skills are still level 1. We get a dramatic shot of some fancy-ass boots. You know someone important is about to walk in. The whole Eldragon leadership squad rolls up, looking like they're about to drop the most boring speech of all time. And there's the head honcho, looking like the final boss of AJRPG. This dude's resting bitch face is legendary. Rangis is having a meltdown, realizing that's the family head, while Zeke just stares, completely unimpressed. Zeke has to physically shut Rangis up before he gets them both executed for talking shit about the boss. My guy is literally begging Rangis to be quiet, looking like he's regretting making a friend for the first time in 1,000 years. But Zeke's eyes are locked on the family head. Oh, that's the look of a kid finally meeting his deadbeat dad. Zeke's already scanning the stage, using his Gilfa's brain to size up the family's top brass. My guy is doing the power level math, realizing this new generation is stacked with high-level fighters. And there's the final boss, Balza Eldragon, an 8-star fighter. Even Zeke is a little shook by that number. He's flashing back, realizing an 8-star was basically a mythical creature in his day. The power creep is real. Zeke just flat out tells Rangis he hates the guy, confirming it's his deadbeat dad. The tea is piping hot, and right on cue, Balza steps up to the mic, already leaking that final boss energy everywhere. Balza starts his welcome speech with some intense flesh and blood of the dragon propaganda. This family is a cult, but Zeke is just staring him down, completely unbothered by the killer intent. My man's got that 1,000-year-old immunity. Meanwhile, all the other kids are getting absolutely folded by the pressure. Rangis looks like he's about to pass out. Yeah, this dude's welcome speech is just him trying to suffocate a room full of 7-year-olds. What a great dad. Zeke's gotta check on his boy Rangis, who's getting absolutely steamrolled by the sheer pressure. My guy realizes his deadbeat dad is literally trying to mentally break a room full of 7-year-olds. Zeke's inner Gilfas is screaming that he hates this dude on a spiritual level. Yeah, it's called daddy issues. And just like that, Balza dips, having said absolutely nothing of value. What a power move. Some new blonde dude starts clapping like he just witnessed the second coming of Christ. This guy is a certified Balza fanboy, calling that intimidation tactic grateful words. Bro, what? Balza just leaves the actual speech to his subordinates. Zeke is watching this whole clown show unfold. The fanboy takes the stage and just starts screaming generic motivational quotes at the traumatized kids. Another officer roasts the loudmouth, and Zeke's just relieved the final boss aura is finally gone. And look who it is. Retin the bully, looking completely confused now that the vibe isn't imminent death. Zeke and Rangis are just sitting there, trying to recover from the final boss's welcome speech. Some new instructor starts screaming about dorm assignments. Great. More bureaucracy in this child soldier academy. Zeke's 1,000 years behind on the lore. So, Rangis has to explain they're getting split up into 4 different dorms. Rangis gives him the full Hogwarts breakdown of the 4 halls, while Zeke just tries to keep up with the patch notes. And just like that, Rangis gets called away. The Bromans got separated before it even had a second episode. Zeke gets assigned to the East Hall, which looks like a damn 5-star hotel. This family spares no expense on its murder dorms. My guy is wandering the halls, complaining about getting lost. Bro, it's been 1,000 years. Of course the layout changed. He finally finds his room, already assuming his roommate beat him there. Let's just hope it's not the bully. Zeke grabs the doorknob, ready for the big roommate reveal. Place your bets now, people. My guy burst in with a big ol' smile, trying to play the part of a normal, friendly kid. This is gonna be good.